All right, we are welcome back again to another video on Start and Ledger Pro. Today we are going to be looking on conventional method of preparing trading profit and loss account based on demand and constant calls that got it to help prepare it in a conventional method for me to have understanding of how to prepare it in a conventional method. So we are going to be using conventional method in entering and posting our trading profit and loss account. But before we go into the video, I want to seize this opportunity to appreciate every one of our subscribers that have done wonderful. It's been 2,000 plus subscribers and you guys have been awesome. You guys have been very encouraging. Let's do more. Let's get to 3,000. You can help to support our channel by subscribing to Start and Ledger Pro, liking our content and also sharing our content to others that you think and you know needs this accounting and statistics knowledge. You know, in Start and Ledger Pro we try as much as we can to simplify accounting terminologies and accounting terms to make it very simple and very easy, even for beginners to have full understanding of accounting terms. So let's jump right straight into our video. Now we have a question down here where we are asked to post into the trading profit and loss account, and mind you, today we want to use a conventional method of posting into the trading profit and loss account. Now this is a sample. I want to do a sample. From the sample we are going to solve this in this side of the board. So let's look at our sample. In terms of preparing trading profit and loss account, it is very pertinent and very important that we start with our heading. Now the heading of the organization is ABZ Limited, and the account we are preparing is trading profit and loss account, and it is being prepared for the year ended 31st/12/2022. So I can have my particulars down here, the first column. Now you see, we are not using a T format, so we have three columns. The first column is my particulars, the second column is my debit, and the third column is my credit. Okay, now I'm going to put my sign here, my currency sign, so that I don't get to be writing the currency on the figures. Okay, now let's start. The first thing we always have in our trading profit and loss account is the sales. So now I'm going to put out all the particulars that are likely to be seen in a trading profit and loss account. But you know, when you are solving, you must not have all the particulars. They can give you some, they will not give you some. So in a situation where some particulars are not given, take for example where there is no return inwards or return outwards, we can skip it in terms of the solving because it's not required for we to post return inwards and return outwards. So but in our format, in our demo, I'm going to give us all of that, so that should in case it is given, we will know where to post it and how to post it. So I have my sales. Sales is always recorded on the credit side. So let's use asterisks, 3 asterisks for my sales. You know, most times when we sell goods and the goods are returned back to us, the trader, we call it return inwards, or we can also call it trade sales return. Now, in a situation where you have return inwards or sales return, it is expected that it's subtracted from the sales in order for you to be able to account for the total amount of sales. Now, when it is not subtracted, it makes your sales figure to be totally wrong. So let's say I have return inwards, which is also trade return. We are subtracting from here. So when I subtract, the figure I have now will give me my total sales. So for trading account, I'm done with this. This is my total sales. I'm done on the credit side. So I come to the debit side. The first transaction is we normally have our opening stock. So when opening stock is given. So mind you, in terms of stock, we've established this in our previous videos, that opening stock can be written straightforward as opening stock, or you can identify opening stock by the date. In most cases, they will give you stock 1st 2022 and stock 31st 12 2022. First is the first day of January 2022. That makes it the opening stock for the year, because this account is prepared annually, depending how you are asked to prepare, but mostly annually. So the first day of the year is our opening stock, and the last day of the year is the closing stock. Do we understand? So my opening stock is on the debit side. I'll have purchase. So if I got goods, my purchases, I'm adding it. So when we add, I have this figure. Then my return outwards. Now, return outwards is for goods that you return back to your supplier after purchases has taken place. Maybe because it did not meet to our expectation. So we subtract it from here. So you see, subtract. Now remember that any figure you see in bracket or parentheses in accounting, it means you are subtracting that figure. So once we subtract, we have this, and then we do carriage inwards. Now my carriage inwards, I'll add. Carriage inwards is the cost of conveying the goods from where we got it to our shelf. So by the time we add, so this becomes my cost of goods available for sale. Cost of goods available for sale. Now, I'm using abbreviation because of space. Now, the next thing is closing stock. We'll subtract our closing stock. Now, let me put my closing stock here, because I'm subtracting from here. Once I subtract, this figure here now becomes what? Cost of goods sold. Now that we've gotten our cost of goods sold, the next step for me to do is to ascertain the gross profit of the trading account. Now, to ascertain gross profit of the trading account, we subtract cost of goods sold from our sales. So invariably, I can bring this cost of goods sold, I can bring it here. So if I put it here, X, the same thing, which is cost of goods sold, subtract it from total sales. By the time we subtract, what we have is our gross profit. Do we understand? So this is my gross profit. Now that I've ascertained my gross profit on the credit side, we are proceeding into profit and loss account. Now, if there is any income that was generated in the business during that accounting year, it will be in the credit side. Example, discount received, commission received are allotted on the credit side. And every expenses that was incurred during a business year comes to the debit side. Do we understand? So I already have my gross profit. No need to bring the gross profit over again. But in the T format, our gross profit would have been on the trading account. So we'll have the gross profit carried down. So say I have discount received. I'm adding it here. Say I have commission received on sales. So my commission received, I'll add. So this is my income, gross income. So now every expenses I incur in the business, I can outline. Say I pay for electricity. So my electricity will be on the debit side. I paid for rent. Rent will be on the debit side. I have my carriage outwards. Carriage outwards is an expenses, more or less like an after-sales services that was rendered to our customer. Here, say interest on loan. Interest on loan. Now, the loan itself is not an expenses, but the additional interest that we spend while on the loan becomes an expense because we are spending more than we receive. We are giving back more than we receive. Now, depreciation on. Now, because I cannot list them one after the other because of space, let me just say fixed assets. When we say fixed assets, we have land and building, furniture and fittings, plant and machinery, motor vehicles. These are the 4 fixed assets that we have. Now, if there is depreciation on our fixed assets, it is the amount of depreciation on the fixed assets that will be allotted here as expenses. The value of the net book value of the fixed assets goes to the balance sheet, not on the profit and loss account, but the depreciation on those assets comes to the profit and loss account. Now, we can also have other expenses, say lighting and heat, light and heating. Now, let me stop here because of space. We can have insurance, we can have general expenses, transportation. Now, anything that is incurred as an expenses that reduces the value of revenue or income in an organization is entered here within that accounting year. So, say this is my total expenses, okay? Total expenses. Bring it over to this side, to the credit side. Now, what do we do from here? We subtract it. Now, once you subtract, the value that you have becomes what? Becomes a net profit. So, this is now my net profit, which brings us to the end of the format using the conventional method. Now, let's go into solving of this. We already have a question on the board. I believe you understand the format. From this format, it's just for us to pick our figures and then impute it into what we are solving. Now, it said enter the following transaction on the trading profit and loss account of A, B, and Z Limited for the year ended 31st/12/2022. Now, I have lines across my particulars to the figures. The reason I'm doing this is because, most of these questions comes in a plain sheet, and sometimes it's difficult for me to trace, so that we don't use the wrong figures for a particular transaction. Sales is 200,000, purchases is 24,000, carriage in was 3,000, all the way down to rent. Now, let us use our conventional method in solving this trading profit and loss account. So first, I have my heading, which is A, B, Z Limited, trading Now, we've written a heading. It's always important to write your heading because in examination, while the examiner is going through your work, marks are always allotted to heading. And it is always very important to rule with a ruler because accuracy and neatness is one of the qualities of an accountant. So I'm going to use my ruler to do my 3 columns where we will have our particulars, Alright, so this is my ruling, this is particulars, This is my debit and my currency sign. This is my credit and my currency sign. So the first thing we have sales. So I put my sales. Sales is 200,000 to the credit side. From the format we see this now. Then the next thing we have return inwards. Now we'll check if we have return inwards. Yes, there's return inwards in the question, 13,200, meaning we are subtracting it from the sales. So I have minus 13,200. Now, let me use my calculator. I have 200,000 minus 13,200. That will give me 186,800. So this is my total sales. Do we understand? That is my total sales. So I'm done with that on the trading account, the credit side of trading account. So we go straight to the debit side. We have opening stock, we have purchases. Yeah, there is opening stock, there is purchases, there is carriage inwards, and then there is return outwards, meaning we are using this 4 at a stretch. So we start with opening stock. Because of this, so I'll bring it down to the next line. Now my opening stock is 38,000. I have purchases. Purchases is 24,000. Now if I add these two, this is 2 carry 1 5, 62,000. Then the next thing I'm doing now, I'm subtracting the return outwards. So I have return outwards. Return outwards is 1,300. This is 0, 0, 3, 10 minus 3 is 7. 1 minus 1 is 0. Then we have 60,700. Then I'll add my carriage inwards. Carriage inwards is what? 3,000. So this is 3,000. If we add, that will give me 63,700. Now this brings us to our first subheading, which is cost of goods available for sale. Cost of goods available for sale. That is 63,000. So this is cost of goods available for sale. Now the next destination is to less our closing stock. So I have closing stock. From here, my closing stock is 16,400. I have 16,400 in bracket because we are subtracting. So this is 0, 0, 7 minus 4 is 3, 13 minus 6 is 7, 5 minus 1 is 4. That will give me 47,300, which is what? Cost of goods sold. Now that we've gotten the cost of goods sold, now what do? We try to ascertain our gross profit, because this is higher than this. We subtract this from here. So I'll bring this to the credit side, which is 47,300. Then I'm subtracting in order for me to have my gross profit. Do we understand? Now let's go back to the calculator. So I have 186,800 subtract 47,300. That will give me 139,500. So I have 139,500 as my gross profit. Now, if we were asked to prepare just the trading account, I'll stop there as the trading account. Now, because we are also preparing profit and loss account, so we'll proceed to profit and loss account. Now, remember I said every income that you receive, revenue that was received during this accounting year, will be recorded on the credit side. Example, we have the discount received and commission received. Now let's go to the question if we have any of that. Good. There is no discount received, there is no commission received. Now that means we'll leave it, okay, and then proceed to our expenses. Now we see that in the format we have it here, so that should in case you find it in the question, you can put it on the credit side. But in a situation where you have some particulars that are missing or omitted from your question, don't say, oh, I'm not going to solve it because the question is not correct. No, the question is correct. You must not always receive discount. You must not always receive commission. Neither will you always give discount. So there are certain you do transaction without issuing any discount. So you can prepare your trading profit and loss without allotting for discount received or allowed or certain expenses that are not incurred during that business. Now let's go to our expenses. Carriage outwards is an expenses. So I'll put it carriage outwards. It's 690. I'll just be taking it so I know I'm done. Okay, wages and salary. Wages and salary is 10,000. Electricity is 6,000. I also have depreciation on motor vehicle. Okay, let me explain this. Now we see that this is the depreciation, not the net book value of motor vehicle. Do we understand? Now, what this means is that they have already calculated the depreciation for you. So you are using this as your depreciation. Now, in a situation where the depreciation has not been calculated, you are going to see depreciation on motor vehicle is to be charged at a certain percentage. Say depreciation on motor vehicle is to be charged at 10% on the value of the cost of motor vehicle, or 5% on the cost of motor vehicle. But this is depreciation of motor vehicle, meaning we are using this figure because it has been calculated for us. So I have depreciation on motor vehicle, which is 3,100. Also, we have depreciation on furniture and fittings. I have depreciation on furniture and fittings. In other terms, we can use F and F, 2,900. Then I have interest on loan. Now, this interest also means they have calculated the interest for you. So we are using it. The loan amount wasn't given in the question. So if the loan amount was given, you are going to charge the loan to the balance sheet, while the interest on that loan comes to where? On the profit and loss. In the balance sheet, interest on loan can also be charged under the current liabilities. Do we understand? Under current liabilities. So I have interest on loan. Interest on loan is 800. Then I have insurance. Insurance is 6,000. Then I have rent. Rent is 12,000. Now, if we calculate this, for me to have our total expenses, I have 690 plus 10,000 plus 6,000 plus 3,100 plus 2,900 plus 800 plus 6,000 plus 12,000. So this will give me a total of 41,490, which is my total expenses. Okay? Now bring it over to this side. 41,490. We subtract it from our gross profit. when we subtract, we have 139,500 minus 41,490. That will give me 98,010 naira. So this is my net profit. This is my net profit, on bringing me to the end of my trading profit and loss account. Always remember to close with 2 lines. Now I want to throw in a little caveat when solving for trading profit and loss account. Sometimes in forms of taxation is a compulsory levy by government on every working individual or every organization on profit realized. Now, say we are to pay tax on 10% on net profit. What we are going to do, we are going to have organizational tax. We'll calculate 10% of our net profit, subtract it from the net profit after calculating organizational tax if the tax is 10%. Now we subtract it. Once we subtract it, that is, it will be 9,801 as our tax. Then when we subtract it, what we will now have is profit, net profit after tax. That is, if the tax was given. Do we understand? So this brings us to the end of our class. Like we always say, you can always support our channel to grow. You can support us by becoming a member of the channel. You can subscribe for membership. We can also like our videos, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notification bar for more live updates. If there are other accounting topics you want us to help you solve or make simplified for you, you can reach out to us in the comment section or drop it on our WhatsApp number that is on our comment on our videos, and we'll get back to you instantly and very quick. If there is any question you have on this, drop it on the comment section and we'll be getting back to you. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for viewing. We really appreciate you, and see you in our next video. We'll be looking at bank reconciliation next. Thank you.